guys, welcome to another episode with your Money Fit MD. Welcome to my platform. If you're listening or watching, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. How has your week been? My week has been fantastic. If you're listening to this, depending on when you do, I'm actually recording this in May of 2021, and it's been a beautiful weather where I'm at in Sacramento, California, and I'm just glad that you're listening to me. So today I wanted to talk to us about this whole idea of playing defense versus offense with our finances. If you've been around my platform at all, you've probably learned about how I was when it comes to money. I wasn't this financial guru person. I wasn't this person that grew up with parents that taught her all about money. No. When I was growing up, money was something that my dad took care of. And my mom was a teacher at some point when I was younger, but later on, she actually left her job to be a stay-at-home mom to take care of us. She has six girls and a boy. So her thing was, if I don't take care of my kids, and watch them, I don't know what's going to happen. So that was a choice that she made. And I'm grateful that she did. It worked out well. And as we know, I'm a physician. I have three girls, and the path to being mothering is very variable for different people. That was a choice that she made. And I'm grateful it worked out eventually. But we didn't talk a lot about money growing up. We just knew that it was something that was scarce. It was something that was hard. It was something that wasn't very available. We were comfortable. We had shelter. We had food, but it wasn't like we had a lot of excess that we were splurging with. So over time, as I've been in medicine and practiced medicine, I was to this point where I realized that I was living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't know how much I was spending. I kind of knew what I was earning, but not quite. I didn't know what was going on with my future, whether I was going to be able to retire at the age of 100 or 90 or whatever. I had no idea. So that's kind of how I was taking care of my finances until the point where I realized that something had to change. I knew that I didn't want to burn out in medicine. I knew that I didn't want to quit medicine. I also knew that I wanted to be the kind of parent that I chose to be that was in line with my goals and my values. So that was the main thing, the main why that actually made me realize that I needed to change how things were going when it came to my money. For some of you that are watching, you're going to be in different places in that spectrum. You may be where I was before, or you may be where I am right now, but or anywhere in the line. But defensive finances can show up in different ways for all of us. So I'll tell you how it was showing up for me. For me, it was not having any savings. I didn't have any savings. So it was sort of like dreading what could happen in future. I mean, we've all lived through 2021. If you're listening to this, your life. So we know that emergencies can happen. Now we know that pandemics can happen. But what I was doing was I wasn't prepared for a pandemic. I wasn't prepared for an emergency, even though I knew that that was something that happens. I mean, I'm a physician. I know that emergencies happen, but I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't saving money. I wasn't investing into my future retirement. I was kind of telling myself that I would just spend what I needed to spend, what I needed to take care of my family, and whatever was left, I would save it. Those right there are things that I describe as money in a defensive way. So, what would money in an offensive way look like? It would be the opposite. It would be knowing or having a general idea of what you're spending, which means that you may know what your fixed expenses are, which are the things that are usually recurring in your financial life. You may know have an idea of what your variable expenses are within a certain standard deviation. You have an idea of what income is coming in. Again, for some physicians, that may be a variable amount, but in general, you have a decent idea of how much you'll be taking home. You know when you think you want to retire, you have a general idea of how much it would take for you to retire, and you're making steps actively to get to that goal. That's playing offense. So, for those of you that are watching, you may be soccer fans. I'm not, but my husband tortures me almost every Saturday by him watching soccer. And when you look at both teams, right, you have the one team that's like, there are usually two teams playing like any other sporting events, like even basketball, right? And one team is trying to get all the scores and the other one may be losing. And at some point, if you find that your offense is not strong enough, you start playing defense, meaning you're just protecting the base. You're trying not to get squashed completely. So for when it comes to finances, that may mean that you're trying not to go over your credit card limit, even though you may already be super in the negative. You're like, oh, I don't know how much I'm earning. I don't know how much I'm saving. I don't know how much I owe. I don't know what the bills are going to come in this month. I'm not going to open my mail because I'm scared of it, right? And what all that leads to is shame. It leads to fear. It leads to worry, sleepless nights. And honestly, you probably know that there is risk to your health when we have all these chronic stressors. So it doesn't help our health overall. So my hope for everybody listening is that wherever you are, know that there is hope and there are steps that you can take from wherever you are, be it a place of defensiveness to that area what you want to go to, which is playing offense. And of course, it takes time, right? Rome wasn't built in a day. This is not a get rich scheme. We have to get the processes in line that's going to help us go from one stage to the other step and celebrating every journey along the way, including when you get to that place of neutral where you're like, okay, I'm at zero right now. I think I'm okay when bills come in, and then I start making my way to the positive. But it has to start with that awareness of where you are, awareness of where things are, awareness of what you're doing, and understanding that there is hope. It can be done. So, again, this is a message of hope for whoever is listening, that regardless of where you are, you can go from defensive to offensive by building that emergency fund, by knowing exactly how much you're earning, plus or minus whatever standard deviation, by knowing, having a general idea of when do I think I want to retire? What do I think I want to do with my money? What do I think I want my savings to be at 12 months? What do I think I want my savings to be at 2 years? That is how you plan on the offense. How much do I want to spend on vacation roughly, right? How do I want to build into my relationships? That is how we create an offensive, not in a bad way, an offensive kind of financial life. And it's available for you and for me. So if you've listened to this episode, I hope you've gotten some things about it. Send me a message if you have any question. Again, it's moneyfitmd@gmail.com. And as always, I invite you to subscribe and share this with someone, with a woman physician in your life that you know would benefit from hearing how to win her money and her life. Again, it's your host, Dr. Latifat, aka MoneyFit MD. Thanks for joining and have a good rest of the week. Bye bye.